I think I was just tweaking, yo. I was like just mad jealous because I was away and like she was still in Montreal and like I was trying to figure it out, but then at a certain point I said, fuck it. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. But then I like kind of put it in the air thinking people were gonna tell me like, yo, you tweaking. Like it's not true. Like why the fuck would you come up with this shit?
Oh, and no one said that.
Yeah, nobody said that.
Oh. Now here in the cut, we challenge our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We are here on the cool table. Now, in the cut, we ask our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. Now, we have a friend of the show finally making his appearance 3 seasons later. Welcome to the show, Maky Lavender.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? We out here.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most unique, like, full circle moments you being on the show because I actually met you years ago when I interviewed Nate. That might have been like episode like 4 or 5. This is gonna be episode 91, so that shows you like how long it's been, and we were in a whole different space.
Yeah.
At that point, I guess talk about what you've been doing from then till now because that's not running around with Nate no more. You're doing your own interviews. So what has happened in that time? Because that's been what 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Shit, like, I used to hype man for Nate and Zach Zoya. So like both of them back to back.
Shout out to Zach.
Yeah, it was both of them at the same time.
Damn.
So it was like my job, you know? It was like I get paid to like, you know, hype the crowd. So it was cool. But I was doing my whole music in the same time, but like I guess the fan base they had access to was not something I ever saw in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we'd come out here and then we I don't even know how you knew them. How did you know? How did you meet
I don't remember how I knew about Nate. I don't remember actually. I know I heard one of Nate's songs, but I don't remember how we actually connected. Yeah, I don't remember. Zach, I know some people from his team, but Nate, I actually don't even remember.
Like Dalton. I know Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton, yeah.
Is Dalton? Is his name? Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dalton, the Montreal way. Dalton.
A lie?
Yeah, I knew about him. So like, I think just because I was there, people were just like, okay, you're the dude, like the homie. I was a rap homie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's come a long way, and you're I would say the tour master because you're going across Canada more than anyone really is.
Yeah.
Before we talk about any of that, your ice cream choice, and you're almost done.
Yeah.
So show people how much you really have left because, right here, he ate all of this before we even started, in probably like 6 minutes flat.
Yo, I swear, and some of it is melted, so I'm kind of taking it easy, but this was fire. It was bomb, like
Caramel Nutella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a crazy flavor.
Brownies as well too. There's 1-2 pieces in there. Yeah, that was great.
I think this was the first time in a long time someone's basically been done before the start of the interview. That's history within itself.
It was hot out today too, so it's nice.
Is it this bad in Montreal? I heard it's more like muggy in Montreal.
In Montreal, it's thick, like, but it's just nasty thick, like
thighs thick.
It's like it's like New York thick, like you're like ugh. But here, like it rains and then it gets cold and then it gets hot. It's different the weather here.
It was crazy. The days when it rains are low-key some of the better days because it like gives you a break from like how hot it is.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it gets really hot.
Yeah. It's not as bad as Montreal because I know the fires are up by there, so it's really getting crazy. But it's the world is really burning in front of our eyes if you think about it. Like
sure,
like the fact that there's fires that we can't stop.
Yeah, shit. That is some fuck shit.
Yeah.
But the Toronto weather, we always like brag about it because it's better than the one in Montreal. Like when we brag it to the people in the States, we're like, yeah, go to Toronto. It's not even as cold. Like we're colder.
I was going to say for winter for sure. Y'all, the way it gets colder in Montreal is like it's a whole different country.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't get it. It took me 6 hours on the train to get here. So it just shows you how far it actually is.
Yeah. I went to Montreal for my birthday. I'm born in January 2 years ago. Boy, treacherous. Just walking from the Airbnb to my car was just like, had to bundle up. Nah, it was bad. You talked about your time on the train.
Yeah.
You mentioned in the interview I saw that you were on the train for 2 days going from Toronto to Calgary. What are you watching on the train when you're on the train for 2 days? Like, what's your media intake like?
Sheesh, like last time I was watching Rick and Morty.
Okay.
So I was tweaking.
Yeah.
And then I listened to a lot of music because the music I made on like last year during that tour, I'd made some music about this whole like coming of like age of a rapper from Canada with like some hockey like references to it. So there's that. Then now I'm watching this TV show I'm a Virgo on fucking Prime.
Wow.
So I'm down and I watch some Black Mirror a little bit, but once again, it stressed me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched some of my favorite shit. Like I think I'm gonna watch Four Brothers again next time.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, so
have you seen the show The Bear?
The Bear on Cocaine?
Not
Because there's a
not Cocaine Bear, just The Bear. Yeah. Cocaine Bear I still gotta watch. I heard there's a cocaine raccoon coming. But not just The Bear. It's like about this guy who's trying to like start a new restaurant. His brother passed. You should watch it. You think you'd like it a lot. It's really fast paced, really interesting.
I'm down. Sheesh.
Yeah, I watched it all in a day, so I'm sure on a train ride you could really bang that out.
Yeah, I sleep on there. I play Switch. Yo, it takes a long time. You have you can do everything on those fucking long
That's what I'm
ads.
saying. Like,
you could start a new fucking album, there's so much time. And then, you fall asleep on the train and you wake up like maybe 4 or 5 hours later. You're still on the train.
and you still have like mad hours left.
Yo. Like this year I was going to do it, but I tapped out. I left in Winnipeg. I said it's enough.
Oh, you're done with it with the train life?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, because
I might have to do it first class or I'm going to not do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I feel like once you get off the train in a new city, you're probably antsy, like ready to just, get active.
Yeah. Yo, the train is fucked up because also like it doesn't stop in Calgary. It stops in Edmonton. So then when
You
it
gotta
stops,
go back.
Yeah, you have to drive or take the bus 3 hours to get all the way to Calgary.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Yeah, and that train doesn't leave from Montreal. You have to take it from here. So you have to go from Montreal to here and then take that train. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's fucked. And it's a 6-hour fucking train ride. I did it yesterday. That train ride was not nice. I don't miss it. Like, 6 hours. Just the Montreal, Toronto, like, commute.
No.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I'm used to it because I got family in Montreal. So I've done that commute, like, a lot of times. But it's still, like, 6 hours, I think, is an awkward amount of time. Like, it's not a full day, but it's definitely, like, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
Like Ottawa, 4 hours, you maybe could bang it out. Like,
for us, it's 2. Yeah, it's 4 hours for y'all.
Yeah.
Yo, these drives are like, it's impossible to explain that to someone in Europe. Because I was in Europe telling them like, yeah, I'm in Calgary, and they're like, okay, but you're from Montreal, like Toronto. They wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
And they probably think Calgary is so close, because here's what they don't see: traveling 2 days and still being in the same country doesn't even compute to them.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
They're like, yeah, 2 days I would have been in 3 different countries by then.
Shit, yo. But here it's just different, yo. Like the big cities are far from each other.
Yeah.
So it's our life.
You said before that you still haven't been to Haiti. Is that still you still haven't been to Haiti?
Yeah, I've never been.
What's the plan on that? Because I feel like you got to at some point make like, a deadline for yourself to go do that.
Shit, I know, huh? I would love to, but every time I try to go, it's not the right time. They always tell me, wait, it's not the right time, not right now.
What's the right time?
I don't know, but like there's always shit going on. It's like, it's pretty messed up. And like, it's not like I know like people who really born and raised there.
Yeah. You're really a tourist.
Yeah, and I don't want that. Like in Haiti, you become a victim of that shit. If they don't know, like you never been.
They're gonna sweep you up real quick. Yeah.
It happened to me in fucking Senegal.
Really, what happened?
Well, I met this random dude at the airport. Then I gave him some money, and it's kind of like if you give people money, like if they're mad religious, so they might think like it's an act of God.
Yeah.
So it's like they might be like fucking with you, thinking like you did something good in their lives, and it's like God doing this through you.
Okay.
So that was his perspective.
You're blessing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with money, so my perspective, I'm like this guy. I'm just breaking the bank to like be safe. So that's kind of what I did.
You're paying for your safety.
Yeah, I paid for my safety. I was there by myself, so I had to do some wild shit.
And then what happened? You said you got kind of finesse, like.
Yeah, I ended up like staying in this like villa with like it was a friend of the guy I met at the airport. I don't know why I was trusting him, but I just had no like option, and I'm on some like, yo, I'm going back to the motherland type shit, like thinking
Try to trust it.
Yeah.
On author blackness.
Yup. Probably wasn't a good idea. I didn't stay too long, and then I got an Airbnb, and then I got out of there because it was crazy.
It was kind of sketch.
Yeah, I was in Senegal for like 4 days, 5 days maybe. Yeah.
Oh, so you moved out there quick. Like, you just realized right away you were like, this is not it.
Yeah, and I moved.
That's what I feel like you expect that in other countries, but when you're getting you back to the motherland, you're like, okay, y'all gonna treat me blessed, but
nah, it's like the more you look like you don't know where you're at, the more they take advantage of that.
no, that's like I've been in Jamaica probably, I don't know, 16, 17 times. And no matter how much time I go to Jamaica, I'm gonna look like a foreigner. Like I've been there mad times. I know Wagwan, but I'm still gonna look like I'm from Canada. So every time I go there, they're really trying to come up off of me, all of that. And I'm like, yo, I know what y'all are doing. Like, I know I look really, really foreign, but like, you know.
Jeez, I want to go to Jamaica.
You haven't been?
Nah.
Oh, no, you'd like it. Jamaica's a vibe. Jamaica's a vibe. But like, the thing I say is like, we stand out like automatically. They're going to be like, oh, he's an American, he's a Canadian. Like, we just stand out like automatic. So as long as you're cool with that, it's a good energy.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like even with Jamaicans, I usually stand. I'm Haitian, so I stand out. Like, even we know, because see, our reality makes no sense to other people because I'm from Montreal and you're from Toronto. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right, so we know about each other.
Yes.
Like, you're not surprised. Like, yeah, he's Haitian from. Yeah, of course. Like, I saw Tremaine yesterday. I was like, I know this Haitian nigga, bro. He knows who I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, from other places, like maybe you go to like Winnipeg or even further, Calgary, there might be some Jamaicans because there's Jamaicans everywhere.
Yep.
But they don't know Haitians like that. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, no, it is weird. Some people, and I feel like Haitians are slept on.
Yeah.
Like, people are giving Africans a lot more love now, which I love that. But I feel like the Haitians, because y'all are out here. Y'all are definitely out here in numbers. Like,
it's true. It's true, but I think it's probably the history, right? And then now, because it's East Coast shit, like out here, like in Montreal, Jamaicans and Haitians don't hang out together. Like, they might even beef.
Like, what?
I said might, see, we're trying to change.
Yo, listen. I know growing up, Haitians were known for one thing, and that was scamming. Growing up, that's what I knew Haitians for.
Shit.
Is that still what you guys are known for? You feel like y'all shedded that?
They do everything. Like, Haitians, they're active, They do businesses, they sell houses, they scam, they do every fucking thing. They're just working. I've seen like Jamaicans though, everywhere, there's a Jamaican restaurant everywhere in the world. Like, if I'm looking for black food because I'm far and I just miss it, I can get a curry goat somewhere.
Nah, there is Jamaican food everywhere, and I think what this has come down to, this is my estimation, is Jamaicans' men love for impregnating women. I think that's probably what is behind Jamaica.
I'm not, for real. I was at this, like, in Vancouver. The spot I go all the time. It's a Jamaican dude, and I think she might be Cambodian or Vietnamese. But, like, see, she's serving the food, right? And it's, like, so common. Like, you've been seeing, like,
normal,
Asian people with Jamaicans because you having kids for real. Yo, shawty's half Jamaican, half Irish. Like, how often have you heard that?
What?
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard that one. Jamaican Irish?
No, that's a real thing. And Jamaican Chinese. The craziest thing, and this is before we move on to the actual music, is like when you see someone who's like the mom's white, the dad's black, and you're like, okay, this is Jamaican's man's type. But when they have different moms and all the moms look alike, I don't know if you've seen that before.
No, that's
a crazy one, man. It's like it's same dad, different moms, but all the moms is like the same type, and you're like, pops had a type, eh? Crazy.
That's wild.
Crazy. You have this crazy song off of the Ladies, Bitches, and Exes EP you did. All those songs are pretty wild. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're
all
wild.
All are pretty wild.
They're fucking wild.
But She Might Be With My Bro.
Yeah.
Talk about that one, because that song is absolute lunacy.
Yeah. I think I was like, I don't know if I got cheated on or not. So then, like, that was enough to create this whole shit. I was like, the fact that you don't know and you feel that way.
Ooh.
So I just made the song about that shit.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
That's so. Tell me more about like you not knowing. Like, did the bro kind of tip you off? Like, what was that about?
I think I was just tweaking, I was like just mad jealous because I was away, and like she was still in Montreal, and like I was trying to figure it out, but then at a certain point I said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna try to figure it out." But then I like kind of put it in the air, thinking people were gonna tell me like, "Yo, you tweaking, like it's not true. Like, why the fuck would you come up with this shit?"
Oh, and no one said that.
Yeah, nobody said that.
Oh. Yo.
Yeah. So then, yeah, that EP was like about like the cycle of it, you know? It'd be your girlfriend, then it'd be your ex, then you just like, you know, you try to say bitches and shit like that.
Yeah. Because you have even like, are you cheating after that, and then leave her there?
Yeah,
which is like you're coming to grips with it. Like,
yeah, I love you're the only person to ever ask me about that EP.
Really?
Yeah. That's why
crazy.
I love Toronto, yo. Y'all really like care. Y'all listen to it. Y'all see the shit. Y'all break it down. Like,
that's crazy.
You saw the title. You're like, yo, this guy's turned up. You listen to the songs.
I was bumping the track, and I said, wait a second. I'm hearing all the stuff you're saying. I go look at the name of the song. I said, oh, he's serious. Like, he really meant it. He really meant it.
Yeah.
Because what I always think about is like, from doing this a long time, meeting a bunch of artists, like I meet a bunch of artists like significant others. Because, you know, some people are like in secret relationships. You know, you have no idea they have a girl, have a man, and then they show up and they're all hitched up. And then sometimes you hear the lyrics and you're like, are these lyrics about, you know, them right there? So I think it's so interesting because it's like, this is so clear. Like,
yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, you know, but Leave Her There is my shit. I was bumping that shit all the way through. Cause see, like I made that EP before I went on the road, but it was just like my soundtrack while I was outside. It was cool.
Damn.
Like Alberta with the pole. Flexing on my app, fucking bitches in the shower. Yo, showing them my tattoos. It's fucking cool. Yeah.
Did you get any like kind of blowback from that? Like anyone like hit you and be like, yo, what's the deal with these lyrics?
Nah, because I think like I left it a bit broad, you know. At the same time, like if you're in my life and you think it's about you and you're listening, then you know.
Then you know it's about you.
Yeah, but like a lot of those people don't really like give a fuck about me like that. Like in that story.
Yeah, true. They're the past. Because I feel like you have a lot of lyrics where it's like, I don't know, if I know you, it's pretty personal. You know what I mean? Like, like the artists who I know pretty well, we say certain things, I can just remember the convos we had and be like, oh, that's what he's talking about. So she's talking about. So I find it interesting that like you haven't heard as much because there's so many songs you have that I'm just like, if I knew Maky like that, like I would definitely be like, oh, this is about Shorty so and so, and I think that's just so interesting that no one really reaches out to you like that.
Toronto is different, yo. Y'all move different when it comes to this art shit. Y'all care. Y'all really be breaking it down. When you perform, people are checking you. Some dude told me, yo, I was peeping the breath control. I was like, what?
That's crazy. A full report card. You're performing.
Yo, they care. Like y'all listen to this shit. Y'all rap. Yo, I don't know. Y'all break it down. So
nah, man, it's a big industry here. Like everyone's tapped in. That's the other thing I realized too is like, you'll meet someone and they'll tell you, oh, like I do graphic design. And then, you know, 3 months later, you find out they got bars of their own and they produce, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So it's like, that's a lot what we see here is like people being so multi-talented. This is your biggest song. And I think this kind of makes sense. One of your biggest songs is Bloom.
Yeah.
Talk about what you were feeling even going into making that. Because I feel like that was like a lot of emotions like at once.
Yes and no. Like, for real. Like around that time, I was exaggerating. A lot of people probably don't know unless you're really in my life. But around that time, I was drinking so fucking much and I was partying and I was feeling myself. Like, I don't know why I felt this way, but I was. I had like I made a little bit of bread from music and I got these like sunglasses that was super fire.
Stunner.
And like I don't know why. Like I think I had some pills or some shit from like a surgery that I had done, like some like shit to sleep, but. I was taking that shit because I had a homie of mine that worked at Air Canada, so we were taking flights to certain places.
Oh, wow.
So see, I was just feeling myself.
You were living.
So before, when I was recording Bloom, like it was the day before I went to Korea, so I didn't really give a fuck. I was just like recording. I was at the studio doing like this song, another song, and then I heard the beat. I was like, yo, save that for me and let me run that. And then I started doing it. And I worked on it. He left me with the auto-tune in the room. He walked out. He said, like, we'll just, you know, try some shit. It
was like that, eh?
Yeah, it wasn't even like, yo, let me make this song perfectly. Nah, it was just the homie left me.
It's a flow.
Yeah. He left me in the studio with the auto-tune on and I tried some flows. Next thing you know, yo, the day after that shit, I went to Korea. I was listening to it on the plane, playing it for the homies. They said, yo, this is fire, yo. All right, yo, I kept it. Then, I don't know, the dude I was working with, did this mushroom trip, listening to that shit all day. And it's like, nah, that's the song. And I was like, I bet.
Damn.
So yeah, I kept it for mad long. Got a grant for a video. And I said, shit, let's do the video. The video was bad. So then I had to edit it myself with it took mad long.
Yeah,
then, yo,
I know how that one goes.
And then, yo, I found out that like, it was année bissextile, was like when the February is like 29 days. So I was like, I need that release date on the 29th of February. So that was the first single, came out like the same day as like a Tupac album. I think All Eyes on Me came out like February 13, 6, and that Bloom came out February 13, 96.
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, not 96, no, 2000.
Yeah, 2020.
That's why it was 2020 with 29 days on February.
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like that's interesting that you were just kind of flowing when you made that. Because I thought about this. I forget what song Diddy said it was from, but Diddy says like that some songs he's made ask for such big wins that like he can't recreate.
Yeah.
I remember he said he got like a $50 million check and made a song, and it was like that's why that song sound like that, because I got even Big Pimpin'. JD talks about like he thought he was going to jail because all the stuff that happened to him in the club. So he was like, I thought I was going to jail. So the pimpin' on Big Pimpin' was like, I'm like never do this again type pimpin'. So it's like it's crazy. So it's like you can't recreate that energy because it's so unique in that sense. But like Bloom is kind of makes sense. It's like as you're feeling the most free, like you were on your shit, like just effortlessly. So it's like
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
People liked it and I never understood why.
But it makes sense now because you saying how much you were feeling yourself at the time is like that's like that energy transferred onto the track. So it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's true. True, because a lot of people say it's like a vulnerable song and shit like that. But I don't know if it was vulnerable. I was just saying real shit that happened. Like, I've been on pillies too much. I've been rolling.
Yeah.
But with Shawty, even though I'm feeling lonely. I don't know why that's deep, but,
I could, that's the thing. I could kind of see how it's deep because not everyone can express themselves like that in their music, And so it's like to you, it was nothing like, I would say this regardless.
Yeah.
It's not that deep,
Yeah.
Not everyone's always going to say that. So, I feel like that's a big one. That's a big one. So I want to know what you have coming up, like in the next year or so, because I think what's up next is what we need is a project. I know you're tour monster, always putting out singles, but what do we have in terms of our project coming?
Yeah, I have a couple. Like the main one is this project called Merci to You. It's like the merci part is in French.
Yeah.
The to you part is in English. So it's like we produce like it's some of the songs I produced, and it mentions like this whole like linguistic controversy they said I was in. Yeah, this is some crazy shit.
No, we're gonna get to that. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that.
So it like mentions that, and then as like some of my productions, so it's fun because I get to really like show what I sound like, because that's what I was doing before. Yeah, that's also why I was around Nate back in the days. I was making beats. So then also there's like features from people from Vancouver.
Yeah,
and it's a lot about like getting over like something that hurt you. Cause see, like the ladies, bitches, and the exes, that was when I was hurt. But then Merci to You is kind of being like, yo, thank you for like everything or whatever.
You're more healed.
Yeah, type shit. But it's more about like healing in the most like misogynistic turned up way, yo. There's a song called What's the Price, about the price of pussy.
Oh my
There's a song called Top Notch about just like spoiling a girl. There's
tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a song called like L'argent du gouvernement, which means like the government's money, about grants and shit like that. It's about like it's just
the stimulus.
Yeah, man. It's like the rap version of like a Canadian like star, I guess. It's cool.
So what do you think of a time for that? Like, when do you think that's coming?
It's gonna take a long fucking time. I just got refused the Quebec grant for it, so it's like, yeah, they're wildin'. There's like a black grant to like pay like black professionals. My staff was like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah,
they refused it, but it's the 4th time the same person refuses it. We saw his name, dog.
Oh, so you know what it is?
Yeah, we got to talk to him, see what's up. Like,
yeah,
probably did. I might have done something. I gotta say sorry.
You know what that's about. You know what that's about.
You know how it goes.
Let's talk about the controversy, man. I thought that was so crazy when it happened. Well, let's do the play-by-play. In the moment as it was happening. So you do this video at the shoot, and they asked you to do it in English, correct?
Well, they just asked me to do the verse, because she knew the verse, because the verse is about the rem.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's a wild verse. Like that line is, we done ran a train, and now they building one. But it's a joke, I didn't think anything of it. But
that. For them to tap you to do that after that's the bar,
that's
crazy.
I'm saying
crazy.
So then like she said, yo, can you do that verse from like that song, whatever? Because the beginning of that verse has a cool cadence, so that's probably why.
Okay.
So I do it and didn't think anything of it. They sent it to me. They posted on TikTok a year later. People in the comments start tripping. And then I don't know why the news was already like peeping the post, the comments, whatever. So they message them. They say like, yo, what's up with that? You see what people are saying about the language? Kind of like trying to start some shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we took off the video. And then, the news called me. And then they asked me like, what the fuck do you have to like? What do you have to say about this? Like, how do
Yeah.
you feel? And y'all went boondocks on the motherfuckers. Yo,
Literally.
yo, man.
Huey
I was
Freeman in the flesh.
I was like, I don't understand how it happened, man. I was just trying to make my music. I don't even know like what's going on. It's so hard to make music out here. Like I really.
Nah, you and Gangstalicious on them for
Yo,
sure.
I had to, yo.
Nah, I thought that was so weird. It was like people are dying to be upset about something,
Yeah.
especially because it's like you speak French, so you could have done it in French.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like you got. It's like what are we doing here?
It's just like I spoke to this like language like police girl I met yesterday. Like she's the I don't know. This her job is to if there's complaints about languages, she pulls up and she's the
Wow.
feds. Like she works for like the
Language fed.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And she was telling me like I was doomed because it's Quebec shit. Like in Quebec, they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. If they say like I don't know, I don't like the way you speak in English right now, they could cut you just like that.
Yeah, that's some Quebec shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the energy is just like we don't rock with that. Like,
But hold up, you seen the episode I'm talking about in the Boondocks? Is the one where like they called Riley? No, not Riley. Called Huey. Is it Riley? No, they called Riley a nigga.
Yeah.
His teacher calls him a
Teacher,
nigga.
yeah, no, you're talking about that from the true story. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much that. I had to absolutely do that
100%.
because that's the only way you could play it. You know, go in the news and act like the victim.
Did you see the Usher thing?
Yeah.
Did you see they're talking about the episode where Usher sang to the girl?
Yo. Yo, for real? He had no choice. Like
Usher can't help himself, eh? Like, cause I saw one of the writers from the show was like that Usher episode is based on a true story with my ex-wife and Usher.
Wow.
And I'm like, Usher's a menace, bro. Get this guy out the streets. Like,
oh damn! Someone asked me a girl asked me about that situation, but she wanted to know what I thought. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like gauge my vibe on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it, but then when I saw it, I was just like, why she do that to the like if. Why she do like if I was her man?
yeah.
I'd be kind of like, why would you do that? Like,
Really? I don't.
I'm just asked.
I wouldn't be pissed, man. It's Usher in Vegas. Like you're crazy for getting pissed at that. Like that's my thing. It's Usher in Vegas. Like like what Usher gonna sing to somebody. Like
yeah. But it's like he's been singing to like a bunch of different like girls on tour and shit.
no, for sure he been doing that. Yeah.
So I'm like,
sang to Sweetie. Tried to sing to Winnie Harlow.
yeah. Winnie Harlow said no.
Yeah.
The Toronto came out. I'm with my man, and he's a bag too. Her man is a bag, so she was not gonna let that go.
No. That's smart. That's smart. No, she did the right thing. I think that he was dumb because he brought it to Twitter. Like,
Yeah,
that is
should have shut
kinda-
up. You just said it like to her, you know, but not go on public and then expose her online
listen, do you ever see yourself being in one of those rapper relationships?
with another rapper.
Yeah, like another female, or even just a woman who's in the business, and y'all are all on Instagram. Like, I kind of could see that for you. Like,
For real?
yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like like once you're past the toxic,
I'm not past it yet. I'm not ready to let go of my toxic life, yo.
I said my toxic life.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's cool right now. You know, situationships that don't really last because I don't stay in the city too long.
Yo,
Vibe with me.
man has a 3-day relationship.
Type shit. Yo, a week tops.
Yo,
it
nah,
just
that's
be
a
like
vibe.
that.
That's a vibe. Like,
Ah.
no beef. Like,
But it's just you come back to the city, you hit her up on some I'm in your city. And she okay.
yeah.
All right. They don't care when you come back. They have like girls really all the time. They move on. By the time I get back to the city,
Oh no,
they got
no,
a new
you,
man.
you can't be a reoccurring character.
No.
That's your fault. So you gotta know, like, you're this one 10-day contract. Once it's done with, like, you gotta move on to the next team. Yeah. Reoccurring is rare. Like, you gotta really have, something settled. And I feel like you don't be in contact with your shorties like that.
Not like
Not
when
when
I'm
you're
gone.
Yeah.
When I'm gone, nah. So
when I'm gone, you're texting at the bottom of the list.
it just be getting crazy. It's kind of like that, yo. I asked Shorty like, if we was gonna fuck, and she told me like only when you're in town, She said like it's only when you're in town thing. Like when you're there, yeah, for sure we're doing that. But when you're gone, like she's not really thinking about me like that.
Yeah. You got to maintain that though. That's the thing. Like, I have a friend. He has a girl he's talking to who like is in another province, and they be chatting, like FaceTime, all of that. That's the only way to keep it like.
Yeah, I'm in a situation like that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then I might be catching feelings for her, so I gotta chill that out.
Oh no,
it's gonna fuck me up. I'm focused on things right now. See, this is what's up. I might have to just sabotage the thing.
You need the Men in Black wipe your memory
type shit. Yo, like eternal sunshine of a spotless mind type situation going on.
Really? That's so funny. I'm dying. The way you talked about catching feelings was as if you were catching COVID.
It'd be like that, bro.
That's when you know that a man is toxic. If the man talks about catching feelings as if he's catching a life-threatening disease.
Yeah, like I'm about to get sued or something. Like I'm like, oh no, fuck, it's gonna fuck up our money. Because I'm focused on my own shit, you know?
Yeah.
So then right now it's not the time to catch feelings. But when you say that, you usually do.
Nah, but listen, selfishly, I feel like someone like you who does make different ranges of music and sounds, if you were in love, bro, come on.
It's true. When I was in love, I was making some fire shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
So you never know, man. You never know. I'm a journalist. Being in love don't do me no different either which way. But I feel like there could be some fire.
It's true, but you're right, yo. Often, like, when I was in a relationship, I was trying to impress her so much. That's the thing, you know? I don't know. I guess I'm just like that in a relationship.
Yeah.
I just try to be like
the best.
Yeah, the best that, like, you know, that she thinks is cool. So I get fucking too involved in that shit. I just try to like impress her with anything I fucking do.
I know that's actually the worst. Now that you mentioned it, that's the worst part because you feel dumb afterwards. You're like I remember like this one of my exes. We weren't cool at this time. Like we were still together, but like we were going through a little patch. And like I show up to her crib and I'm like, yo, like I wore this little fit 'cause I know you like it. And she literally looked at me and said, I don't give a fuck what you're wearing. and I said, look at me try it. Like
and it was fucked.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the end of that. Now we have these questions we ask everyone on the show that I do want to get to. But before that, I want to talk about this saying that you always say because you can't use this for Wednesday Wisdom. Saying, let's do it like we do it at home.
Yeah.
So we have this segment called Wednesday Wisdom. For a motivational quote or saying, that's out of the running. So I'm telling you from early, you got to think of something else.
So I got to find another saying that I say all the time.
Say it all the time or share with people. But that one, let's do it like we do at home, is off the table.
Sheesh.
Okay?
How do you even know I say that shit? Like, were you there?
It just flows.
Well, no, but how do you know that I say that?
It's my job to know that.
Were you there?
It's my job to don't ask questions, fam. It's my job to know that.
Shit, all right.
It's my job to know. Yeah. That was at the end, so I'm giving you the heads up so you know when that comes. But when everyone gets to that $100 million level, people always get an exotic animal. I don't make the rules. That's just what happens. Michael Jackson with his monkey, Justin Bieber with his monkey, Mike Tyson with his tiger. So when you get to that $100 million level, what exotic animal are you going to add to your life?
An elephant. Yeah. I'm going to be wilding. I'm going to be sitting on top of the elephant.
Elephant in Montreal is crazy.
Yeah. That sounds, that probably says a lot about my personality. Type nigga to get an elephant.
Elephant down Plumbondon is like, what are we doing here? Like,
absolutely. Move out. Move out. I'm being on the top of the elephant like this, acting like nothing's wrong. Like
bumping ludicrous.
You saw what I saw in my head.
Yeah, literally. Yes, roll out.
Hey. Let's go. I'm down. Yeah, I would definitely get an elephant or like a giraffe. Yeah, some big ass animal.
I rock with the elephant one because everyone I know who's like met elephants says they're so sweet, they're so smart. So it's like I don't mind if you're like a bigger animal, but if you're like gentle at heart, we could rock. You know, you don't need to have a violent tendencies. I'm already black. We don't need to double the police pressure because
dangerous. Yeah, you get a rhino or some shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the rhino is enough to cause problems. A black man on a rhino is like, you know, alert the authorities. So
that's true.
And I like that elephant one. And you're the first person who's really brought this animal like into the city, you know, because a lot of people, they talk about, I'm going to have a ranch. I'm going to have all this property. I'll get a lion. I'll get horses. I'll get an octopus tank. You're the first person who's like, I'm going to get this elephant and just
fuck it up.
Bring him on the block.
Yeah. Go fuck the city up with the elephant. Let's go.
Yeah.
With a new album out, you know, might get like put the Merci to You banner on the elephant, walk around the city.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh my days. You're gonna need a whole new spot. You're gonna need a whole new spot.
I don't even know where you put an elephant.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I might just need to move out. Because on the island of Montreal, an elephant definitely would be a problem.
Yeah. Like, And I don't know how they are with water. Like, do they like to be by the water? Like, what's the deal with that?
Shit.
And the way it's hot, like.
And when it's cold, like I don't know if they could do the winter.
I didn't even think about that.
Shit.
Yeah. Listen, everyone gotta die sometime, right?
Yo, I definitely shouldn't have an elephant. That's why.
That's what we came to an end all this.
Like, I would like to, but I shouldn't have an elephant.
But this is a $100 million question because they shouldn't have monkeys. Mike Tyson should not have no tiger, you know. True. But it's like it's part of, you know, the allure. Like, so I think that's just something you got to do. Like, you know, they say like when you make it, everyone buys like a certain chain or a certain watch. This is a different level of making it. You know how Kanye said billionaires don't wear chains. You know, $100 million people, they don't buy chains, they buy animals. So that's like the bigger flex that you're trying to get to.
That's like, that kind of flex makes you like, you know, take a good look at yourself. If you're buying like big ass animals just because you can, like, because it's true, like you get very rich and then you get like some sort of like pet that you can't get if you're a regular person.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's wild. I
feel like that's part of being rich. Like, I look forward to being that rich because I think that's just part, like, you have to, it's almost too much money to spend. You have to buy something that makes no sense. Like, there's some guys who are rich who they're buying, like, all these sneakers for auction. Not even their size. Can't even wear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. $200,000 for a pair of sneakers they're going to put in a frame. Yeah, you know?
That's weird.
And it's like, that's the same thing as an animal to me. It's like, it's part of being rich. You kind of have to just.
It's part of being rich.
No, it is like, you know, like I feel like there's a few rich people who are definitely still like, you know, penny pinching or trying to keep it low key. But if you're doing it right, you know what I'm saying? You got to buy something that's nonsensical completely. Like,
yo, it's true, but goddamn, like I think. It's the Quebecer in me, like we wouldn't do that. Like in Quebec, you won't do some shit like this. But here, y'all really let Drake build a house up here. So
yeah, no, Toronto, a lot of people are already feeling like they're bougie. Even in this area, like people are going for that. But I'm asking us to embrace it because if we're trying to embrace being rich, we got to think rich. So it's like, yo, that's part of it.
In Quebec, yeah, you get fucking rich, you buy yourself like a farm or some shit like that. That's the type of shit you would do. But
that's why I was surprised you didn't have a farm and you were gonna have the elephant that's on the driveway.
An elephant that's on the driveway is unacceptable. Yeah, sorry, I just started picturing it and it was like, this shit's gonna break my fucking house.
No, that's some ghetto shit. I'm interested to see what you have for this answer. Now, they say the top 5 people in your life help make you who you are. And help you be yourself. Now, the top 5 could be 2 people or it could be 10 people. But who are the people in your life who help you be yourself?
Shit. Like random people?
Anybody, man. Anybody. You could choose celebrities, people you know, you don't know. You can choose God. You could choose anybody.
My grandma, she's lit. I'd say exes always do like a very big damage on me. They always like make me like do albums and shit like that. Yeah, and I say definitely like family and stuff. Yeah, they were the first people to like bother me in life before I fucking went out to the real world and got bothered by
everybody else.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'd say the fam. Like now there's like my little cousin. She's a baby. Like when my cousin was pregnant, because she's my cousin's baby. Yeah. So it's my cousin. So when she was pregnant with like that baby, she was like at the rehearsals with my band and shit like that. Wow. So that baby really felt music. And now when she saw me perform, like she hadn't seen me in years, and when she saw me, she like recognized me and she started dancing when she saw me like perform.
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that baby is just
entrenched. Yeah.
Yo, I love her. She's great.
That is wild. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see these kids grow up, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy to see these kids grow up. Yeah. One of my friends just got married, and he has a little sister who I think is 8, and she knew all the dance hall songs at his wedding, and she's literally like, "Sing out they playing." Hey. At 8 years old.
How?
And I'm just like, yo, what? Like. It's like 8 ain't the same 8.
That's wild. That's true, yo. She's gonna grow up and like I don't know, it's gonna show in her personality. It's kind of wild to see like where it starts and how it ends at the end. Like where did they become? She might make music. She might like be a dancer. Like, but you saw it coming. You'd be like, yeah, when you was a baby, you was into that. So that's what I like to see that with my cousin and just babies. Because I think that's where I was at. Like when I was a kid, everybody tells me the story that when I was a baby, I used to dance. I cared about that shit.
Yeah.
I loved music. So now that I do this in life, a lot of my family members are like, oh wow, yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I see that what you said about your little cousin, because it's like she's gonna see that this is possible. You know what I'm saying? Like if she wants to get in music at all, even if it's like behind the scenes, wants to be A&R or whatever, it's gonna be just normal to her of like making it in music because she knows you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like without you, like she might think like, oh, music is so far fetched. I'll never get there. Like she known you her whole life. You always been doing it, and she's like, yeah, like that's just normal.
Yeah. Yup. It's like. And I feel like we encourage her with like all this music stuff because it kind of like, check what happened with Maky. Like back then he was doing this shit and then now, she likes it. So maybe if we like hype her up and then, show her love, she might take it seriously. She might do something special.
No, 100%, man. It's like that Tupac line that I may not change the world, but I may affect the mind who does. Like that's what I realized that what we're doing is like whatever we do that's normal to us, our younger cousins, younger brothers, whatever, they see it and then it becomes normal to them.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, super cool. I remember when I was a youngin' and like I had an older cousin that was doing some cool shit. It changed my life. I was like, what? You doing what? Like, I had to go in his room, check his kicks, like see what kicks he had because he had the freshest kicks. I'm like, how did you get this?
Like, how's that possible?
Yeah, for real. Like when you're a kid, it makes no sense to you. So it's cool to like be that like adult now for them.
Yeah. No, I don't take it for granted, man, honestly, because it's like, you don't know what you can't see. That's what I always think is like, you think of it, you might want to do it, but until you see that it's possible, that's when you're like, ah. And so it's like, again, having someone like you around, that barrier is already broken.
Yeah.
She don't need to spend her teenage years being like, I wonder if I can make it as an artist. Like, she gonna just believe that off rip.
Yup.
Because she see Maky. So, nah, I really rate that. This is a time for your Wednesday wisdom, okay? So, we do the segment on the radio show called Wednesday Wisdom, looking for a motivational quote or saying either you remind yourself of or the people around you. So for you, what is that motivational quote or saying that always running through your head? And it cannot be, let's do it like we do it at home.
Yeah. I like to tell myself that everything kind of ends at some point. So like I used to think about that a lot when I worked jobs that I hated. So I'm at work and I'm just doing this. I'm working at FedEx. I'm like, yo, it's gonna end at some point. Like the shift is gonna finish.
Yeah.
And I always tell myself that when I'm doing something that's gruesome that like I don't want to do and it's like fucking tiring, like at some point it's gonna end, like everything else I do. So yeah.
That's a big one. I think I needed that in particular for sure, because I think sometimes you feel like it's not gonna end.
Yeah.
Like it's like what you're saying is almost obvious. You know what I mean? It's like obviously it's going to end, but in the moment you feel like when.
Yeah.
So it's like that's huge that you kind of like were telling yourself that in those moments of like, yep, it's gonna end.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
gonna end at some point. You'll be all right.
Yeah, nah. It's especially when it's like you're trying to do your passion and you have these other jobs that like really aren't hitting.
Yeah, and you spend like hours. Like, yo, there's the worst feeling for me is like when you get to work like 5 minutes early.
Oh my god!
and you're like, all right, man, and you're about to start, and you're trying to act like you don't see, like you see the seconds pass by until your shift starts, and as soon as the shift starts, you're like, okay, clock down the other way now, because it's wild. Like let's say you start at 5, and then you're there at 4:50. And then you see all those minutes, like that 10 minutes you're giving them.
You could have back.
Yeah. Like, I'm here in advance. Like, yo, all the transit it takes to get there. And yo, then after that, you got to work that, those 4 to 10.
Yeah. Yeah. When I used to work in a restaurant, that was like my whole energy. Because I was working there while I was in school and I was still doing this show. And I was just like, listen, you guys will not get any of my effort, okay? Like,
what were you doing at the restaurant?
I was a host.
Oh,
and I was like, you're getting the bare minimum. Like, there's no way. Because it's like, it just makes it even worse. Like, you being pissed that you showed up 5 minutes early, like, I would just sign in and just kick up. Like, that was me. I would sign in, get my tea, and just cool out. Like, we can't. No, we're not getting a hard work out of me. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I tried. Yo, I was at Wendy's. When you worked at Wendy's, you have no choice. Yo, they're just annoying. I was a cashier too.
Wendy's is like one step above Burger King. I think is like the bottom of the barrel. Burger King is like the true sign of poverty, but Wendy's is.
Makes you feel like you're a bit fancy, you know, because there's not as many Wendy's. Well, it was because I got fired from McDonald's and I just needed a job.
Damn.
Yeah, I got fired from a lot of places.
What did you do to get fired?
At McDonald's?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like it was interesting because it was like in this like kind of white neighborhood, and like it was just like I guess half black like boss, and then she's trying to really like lay the law down and shit. She told me I was giving her attitude, but she was yelling at everybody and she was yelling at me, and I said what? Because I didn't understand what she said, and also why was she yelling? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
She said, "You giving me attitude? You giving me attitude?" And then like she stopped giving me shifts for like weeks, and then like you know
not giving you shit.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I was like, yo, she's gonna fire me. Like, yeah, she said I'm gonna stop wasting your time. I'm gonna stop wasting my time. She said I had a warning, but she couldn't find it. She's like, okay, you have a warning, but she couldn't find the warning in question. And then she said like, I'm gonna stop wasting my time, your time. This is over. Blah blah blah. I said, you're firing me? She said, yeah. I was like, all right. I left.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yo, I was like, yo, it's fine. Like, I didn't really get it. It was McDonald's. I was like, yo, why would you fire someone from McDonald's?
Yeah, like,
like unless I stole some shit. Like,
she didn't like you.
Yeah,
she didn't like you. It'd be like that sometimes.
I was thinking about Spaceship, like
Kanye.
Yeah, every shifts.
Yeah,
but then you know at that McDonald's, they were like a fucking summer camp. They were like yelling, like, "Hey, everybody, okay, let's go!" Woo-hoo. Like, put some.
Oh, you're one of those locations.
Yeah.
I know you're not with that.
Exactly.
I know you were not like and break.
Fuck that.
Yo.
Nope.
Yeah, like no, that's my favorite because like when I used to work at the restaurant, I was not taking nothing serious because I'm like, yo, they gonna get their food regardless.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of jobs, even what we do is like we're not nurses. It's not life or death. Like you could listen to my song, listen to my pod, listen to the podcast. No one is gonna die if I show up a minute late.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like when you people taking their stuff way too serious, you're kind of like. You're giving someone burgers. You're actually killing people. For me, real, you're actually killing people.
Yeah, you're doing the wrong thing. Like,
yeah, like
it's wild.
You're not saving no lives. You're killing people. I wanted to show everyone again what you have for ice cream before we wrap up here because you basically it's like a little soup now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you can see the bottom of the.
Yeah. Chunky and moist.
Ew, bro.
Chunky and moist is right. For anyone who's made it this far into the podcast, you know what to do. Leave us a rating and a review, 5 stars, not a single star less. Make sure you follow us on all your podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. Of course, you can listen to the radio show every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. That's 12:80 a.m. in Toronto, CJRU.ca Online. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube at The Cool Table Live. Follow us on Instagram at The Cool Table Live. And of course, all episodes of the In the Cut podcast can be found at adrielsmiley.com. And until next time, know yourself, know your worth.